why your film sounds so bad. Hi, welcome to Film Music Mentor. Today's topic, why your film sounds so bad. In addition to being a composer, I'm also a mixer and sound designer on many, many projects. In fact, most projects, I get hired to do the mixing and the composing. I'm going to show you two things that will help you, even if you can't have a mixer, but I do think you should have a mixer. This will help you out. Don't stack your dialogue mics. You need to take the best sound from each mic and create one track, one mono track. Now let me clear this up. I'm saying one track. It could be different mono tracks where voices overlap. You may want a different mono track for each of your characters, or you may want just a couple to go back and forth that will eventually become a stereo bus or stereo master track for your dialogue that will be panned directly in the center. This is so important. When you have your dialogue tracks in stereo and when you have them stacked, what you get is noise. The noise floor goes up, 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 up. It sounds like a blender's going on while we're listening to your dialogue. And this is the way all editors deliver their edits to the sound designer, mixer, whoever's going to handle that last phase of sound. Now, it's not that the editor's doing anything wrong. It's just that editors are not usually trained to get the film to sound polished and ready to deliver in any format, whether it's a film festival, but especially some kind of distribution. Distribution outlets have very, very strict guidelines in terms of volumes and quality control standards that must be met. And the problem some filmmakers make is they don't even know that these standards exist. So here's two common mistakes. One, the editor is going to mix the film. Don't do it. Different set of skills. The other, the composer will mix it. Don't do it. It's a separate set of skills. How do I know this? I started doing it. I went under the same false assumption. I started to mix projects, and for some of them, I did it wrong. And I really took the time to learn how to post audio mix or audio post mix. So I want to show you the difference. So here we go. The last feature, I just did it in the summer, called Chronicle of a Serial Killer. It's out now. So this is what the file looked like from the editor. This is a series of OMF files. So take a look at this. This bunch of tracks right here, these are the dialogue tracks. There's about 7 or 8 or 9 of them. And you see how they're all on top of each other. This is how editors deliver the mix to sound people. But if the editor is your last stop, it's very important that you heed what I'm about to say. So we want one track or 2 tracks of dialogue in mono, not stereo. The stereo will phase. It's going to sound echoey just from being in stereo and just from being out here. We want our dialogue right in the middle. And mono, pan dead center is what we want. I'm going to play this big, big, big track right here. It's just, I left it bigger than the others so that you could kind of see the whole thing. This track is the composite audio track off the reference video given to me by the editor. So I want you to listen to the sound.
I don't know how you guys do it, man. You single guys.
Listen, when I'm fat and bald, that's when I'll call it quits.
Yeah, that's when it'll come running for you, bro.
What are you gonna do?
This has been a long day.
Yes, it has. But we did lay a lot of groundwork.
Yeah.
What's going on in that mind, Cal?
Something's still not right. I can't put my finger on it.
You hear the noise, very noisy. DMX's voice is booming. Steve's voice, booming. The scene has Steve Stanulis, who's also the director, Dominique Swain, and DMX. They're cops and they're staking out a club to try to find a killer. Okay, so what I'm going to play this now. Fixed.
I don't know how you guys do it, man. Single guys.
Listen, when I'm fat and bald, that's when I'll call it quits.
Yeah, That's when it'd come running for you, bro.
What are you gonna do?
This has been a long day.
Yes, it has. But we did lay a lot of groundwork.
Yeah.
What's going on in that mind, Cal?
Something's still not right.
You hear there's barely any noise. There's the slight sound of music that sounds far off. They're in a surveillance van outside of a club that has music going on in the club. So part of the mixing is to make the music sound like it's in the club, like it's out of the club, and in this case, out of the club and in the van, so it's very, very muted, but you can still hear it in the background. So very, very, very important. We don't stack the dialogue. We want to take the best sounding mics and create one track. We want to blend them so that they all sound the same, blend the EQ, we want to blend the ambience, and do whatever we can to make them sound like they're coming from the same source. It doesn't sound good when you have every mic. It does sound like it's all coming from the same source, but it's a big mess. And you don't realize this because you've been going back and forth this way with your editor for however long you've been editing. And at first, when you destack the tracks and you put your dialogue in mono, it's gonna sound maybe like it's too quiet, or maybe it's too low, it doesn't have as much heft as it used to. This is good. Your dialogue is way too, your whole mix is way too loud when it's in that editing. Remember, there are quality control and volume standards for broadcast, for YouTube, for any kind of distribution, and some of them are quite different. So even if you can afford a day or 2 days to have a mix done, do it. It'll take it from sounding awful to sounding much better. And it's very important to have an expectation. If you have the budget to spend a month doing mixing and doing sound editing and sound design, that's awesome. But if you have less time than that, you want to do the best you can, and you want to have the expectation that it won't sound like everything was recorded perfectly, because it wasn't, but it will sound better and it will pass QC, and that's what's important. Now, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe, and if you like this video, press that like button and leave a comment, ask a question. I'm here to help. Thank you for watching Film Music Mentor. I'll see you next time.